Next is to prepare the code for the monster sprite. Let's select the monster sprite here. When the game starts, the monster sprite will be hidden and copies of this sprite will randomly be displayed in different places. These different monster sprites should be displayed in different costumes. First, I drag a when flag clicked code block under events here. Now, let's connect a hide code block under looks here. Again, I drag a forever code block in the control like this. Now we need to change the costume of these monster sprite. So let's drag the next costume code block under looks into this forever code block. Since we want to create copies of the monster sprite, a create clone of myself code block in the control is dragged below the next costume code block. To change the speed at which the clones are created, let's drag a wait 1 second code block under control here. Let's change the time here to 2 seconds. Okay, next is to change the places where the clones are created in this monster sprite randomly. For that, I drag a when I start as a clone code block in the control here. The monster clones we created are still hidden. So, I drag a show code block in the looks here and show these sprites. Now, let's drag a go to x:y code block in the motion here like this. For the x position of the clone, I assign a random value between -200 and +200. For that, let's connect a pick random code block in the operators here. Here, the value is given as -200 and here 200 is given. Let's give the y position as 180. Okay, now we have changed the x position of the clones randomly. Now the monster clone is created in this way, needs to move from the top to the bottom of the stage. Let's create the code so that the clones fall down from the top end of the stage to the point where the y position is -170. For that, I drag a repeat until code block in the control here. Here, for the condition, let's connect a code block with the larger than sign in the operators. -170 is given to the left side of the larger than sign and a y position code block in the motion is connected to the right side. Now, since the clones need to move down, drag a change y by 10 code block in motion into this repeat until code block. Since it's moving down, it needs to move to the negative direction along the y. I will change the value here to -3. In this way, if the monster clones hit the bullet while moving down, we will get a point. Also, the monster clone is destroyed. I drag an if code block in the control over here. For the condition here, let's connect a touching mouse pointer code block under sensing. Click on the arrow in front of the mouse pointer and select the bullet. Let's drag a change health by 1 code block under variables into this if code block. Click on the arrow in front of health and select score. I think it would be better if a sound is played when adding a score like this. Let's add a sound first. I go to the Sounds tab from here. Click on the Choose a Sound button at the bottom left corner of the screen and select the Zoop sound from here. I return to the Blocks tab. Now drag the Start Sound code block in the Sound category like this and select the Zoop sound from here. Now, if the monster hits a bullet, the monster needs to be destroyed. For that, a delete this clone code block in the control is dragged into this if code block. Now let's see what will happen if the monster hits a bullet like this and comes down without being destroyed and it hits the rocket ship. In this way, when the monster collides with the rocket ship, the value of the health variable decreases by 1. In this way, if the 3 monsters collide with the rocket ship, the value of the health variable becomes 1 and the game needs to stop. For that, let's duplicate this if code block. I right-click on this if code block and duplicate it. Now let's add this duplicated if code block below the first if code block like this. Click on the arrow in front of bullet and select rocket ship. Also, here the variable is changed to health and here the value is given as -1. Since there is no need to play a sound at this time, right-click on the Start Sound code block and give the delete block. Next is to stop the game when the value of the health variable is equal to 0. For that, I drag the if code block in the control inside the repeat until code block down from this second if code block. Here, for the condition, a code block with the equal sign under operators is connected here. The health code block in the variables is connected to the left side with the equal sign, and 0 is given to the right side. Drag a wait 1 second code block under control into this if code block and change the time to 0.5 seconds. When the value of the health variable is equal to 0 and 0.5 seconds have passed, the video that is open on the stage needs to be turned off. Also, all the other sprite needs to stop. For that, I drag a turn on video on stage with 0% transparency code block in the human body category. Let's click on the arrow in front of on and select off. Let's drag a stop all code block under control again here. Now, the monster clones which are created in this way move to the lowest end of the stage without being hit by a bullet or rocket ship. They must be destroyed. For that, let's drag a delete this clone code block under control away from this repeat until code block. Okay, now we have finished creating the code for the rocket ship as well as the monster sprite.